Welcome to Booked, Busy, and Building, the podcast for dreamers, doers, and everyday people making it happen. Whether you're building a business, a mindset, or a better version of yourself, this is your space to stay grounded, get inspired, and keep growing no matter how full your calendar gets. So if you're chasing your dreams and figuring it out as you go, this is your space to stay motivated and keep building. So tune in every week for new episodes. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Booked, Busy, and Building, the podcast where we talk about building the life you actually want. In today's episode, we are going to be talking all about how what you tolerate is what you get. So this is your sign that it is time to raise the bar in any and every area of your life. Whatever you are allowing into your life without saying anything, or even just you're noticing and you don't really want to try to figure out why this thing is happening, then that is a sign you are just going to continue to sign up for more of that thing. Like, for example, if every day you know you should be waking up early to get a workout in before work because you know at the end of the day you're going to be tired, but you continue to allow that habit to happen and you don't want to do anything about it, that is you continuing to allow that into your life without trying to figure out why. And why can't you just stick to your word? Why are you tolerating these low standards, and what can you do to try to be better? And this can happen in anything in your life, like I'm saying, with friendships, relationships, your job, even how you talk to yourself and how you treat yourself. A lot of us love to dress up these low standards and make it seem like we are just being chill, we're going with the flow, we're just letting life happen. But really, we're just letting people or situations and things get away with less than we deserve. This episode is really about flipping that and learning that we can stop tolerating these things and we can start raising the bar in any and every area of our lives, no matter what it is. Because once you start upgrading your standards and once you start upgrading your life in little and small ways, everything else will start to follow and it becomes this ripple effect. So let's dive in. I feel like this is something that I also need for myself as a little pep talk and kind of a hype up. So let's get started. Before we get started, it is time for our weekly Booked, Busy, and Building check-in, which are 3 things to ask ourselves at the beginning of every episode. So number 1 is, what opportunities are you stepping into this week and how are you staying booked? So for me, I'm really focusing on content quality over quantity. And that is something that I'm really stepping into and leaning more into, because I've noticed that over the last couple of weeks, just to be super transparent, I have been comparing myself a little bit more than usual to other content creators and their growth, and how I feel like I've been kind of stuck at my growth for a while now, and things have not grown, but they also haven't lessened. Like, it's kind of just like I'm in this weird middle, and it is more specifically with my Instagram and my TikTok. Like, my Instagram, it feels impossible to grow, and my TikTok, even though that is my highest platform, it still feels like it's been really hard for me to grow that as well. And so I really want to start focusing on my content quality and what I'm putting out there, and is this the best quality content that I can do, versus trying to pump out 2 to 3 videos a day if it just does not make sense. And that's the thing, is a lot of people are like, you gotta post, that is how people are gonna see you. And I completely understand that. Like, I've been in the social media space for 6 years now posting, but I was actively watching YouTubers and I was on Instagram and stuff since literally probably like middle school / high school. And so I have been in the social media space for over 10 years now at this point, and I've seen how it's changed, how different industries are coming in and out, the new kind of creators that are happening. And so I'm also thinking, like, how do I want to show up in the content creator space? Like, how do I want people to see me? How do I want to represent myself? And I want to start positioning myself more as like, I am a thought leader in this space. I have spoken on panels. I have been involved in some really cool partnerships that are outside of like the beauty and lifestyle space, that are around career and life, etc. And I'm like, that is exactly the route that I want to continue to go towards. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, how can I really up my content to get towards that space and not just be the traditional everyday influencer that we are seeing. I want to be involved more in that like small square space where you are a thought leader, you can get invited to speak on panels, and you can go and speak about these really cool things that are not just involved around your everyday influencer, like a vlog or a skincare routine, etc. Like, I know that that's kind of a lot, but that is essentially like where I'm trying to go. So hopefully that makes sense. Number 2 is, what is taking up your time and energy right now and what is keeping you busy? So I am really focusing more on YouTube because recently one of my videos just got over 1,000 views, which I know sounds so lame, but I am so happy about that because my YouTube is something that I have really been trying to take a lot more seriously. And I've been posting vlogs, I've been posting my more like personal life content, doing things that are at home, and having it be like a less polished version of me. Like, this is what I do every single day. I'm at my computer and my life is kind of boring and I don't have exciting events and things happening all the time. And so it is the, like I said, less polished version, but I'm really loving how that routine style video has been doing really well, and a lot of people have been resonating with it. It's been inspiring them. And so that has kind of been like my main focus, is really pouring time into long form videos. Even if it's just one video a week, that is perfectly fine. And number 3, what are you intentionally working towards for your future self and building? So I actually just got this tip from Maggie Sellers-Rum, who is the podcast host of Hot Smart Rich and her company in general called Hot Smart Rich. And I was watching her Week in the Life vlog today, and she said something in there that really stuck with me that I want to talk about more on TikTok, but I want to also mention it on here, which is how she wants to focus on doing more things for her eulogy versus a resume, which I know sounds really kind of crazy, but when you think about it, she was saying like she wants to focus on things that are more for herself and more for her personal life, and things that don't have to do with career or work. And for her, it was doing French lessons 2 times a week for an hour, so that when she goes to Paris or when she goes to France during the year, she wants to be able to have a full conversation in French over there, like ordering a coffee or ordering breakfast or something. She said that is more of a, again, like a eulogy thing, which basically means like she's doing it more for herself and for her life as a whole, rather than it's for your resume, this is going to make you look good, etc. Like, she just wants to do that for herself. And I loved that, and it made me realize that a lot of the things that I do, I try to monetize off of it really quickly, or I try to just make it tie back to my work. And it's really hard for me to do things that are just for me. Like last night, my boyfriend and I watched a movie in the living room, and it was really fun. And there were so many times that I obviously wanted to pick up my phone and see if I got an email or something. And it was literally a Saturday night. So it's like, I need to just get better at doing things that are just for me, and there's no monetary compensation back for it. It is simply just, I want to do it for me because it's fun. So watching that YouTube video, I feel like really reinforced that thought for me of, you need to do more things that are just for you. It does not need to be monetized. It does not need to tie back to your career or your life. You can simply just enjoy little moments and not regret it. Tip number 1 is you train people how to treat you by what you tolerate. I have been through this basically my entire life up until the last couple of years. And I've mentioned this in, I think it was my last podcast episode on how to navigate outgrowing people and all those kinds of things. And I really struggled with that up until just a few years ago, because I really wanted to step into my truest, most fullest self. And that couldn't have started without looking at who I was surrounded with in my environment. And over this past weekend, I went out with a group of my friends, and it was a mix of like me, like my friends, but like my boyfriend's friends, because it's kind of like a combined group. And it was so fun. It was less than 10 of us, and we had such a great time. It was like a happy hour into like going out. And that night, like the next day when we came back, my boyfriend and I were like, in the morning when we woke up, we were like, we had so much fun, and it just felt really great, and the vibe was great, and it's like the people we were around were great. It was just overall a really nice night, and we could not stop saying how much fun we had. And it's like, those are the moments that really make me realize like who you're around is so important, because we've had hangouts where we're like, this was not fun, there was drama, there was this, that, and then there's hangouts like over the weekend where we had so much fun and it wasn't anything crazy out of this world, and we really enjoyed ourselves. And so in order for me to have gotten to that part of my life where I'm enjoying everyone that I'm hanging around and I'm enjoying who it is that I am with, I felt like I couldn't be my truest, fullest self if I didn't really analyze the environment that I was around. And my entire life, I was surrounded by one-sided friendships, or people wanted things from me, or I needed to be the mom and the therapist, and I needed to handhold in every situation. And I realized it's because I trained these people around me to feel like whenever they have a problem, they can come to me, but they are not going to come to me when there's other things. Like, they're not going to ask me to do this, they're not going to ask me to hang out or whatever, but it's like when they need something, something, they know I can be the one to deliver because I'm always there to deliver. And so I was letting things slide. I was not trying to put a boundary between whatever it was. Like, I was simply just settling and letting people walk over me, and I was essentially a doormat, and I hated that. And it wasn't until I got older, right before college, that I was like, I am no longer going to put up with this, and I'm truly going to live my life for me. And so you do not need to shrink yourself. You do not need to put yourself into these situations where you're like, oh, this person can do this. It's not a big deal because I've known them for so many years, or it's okay, I'm just going to let this happen because like it's that kind of person, so I'm just going to give them that excuse. Like, no. As soon as you give people excuses or you give them a permission slip of like, you can do this, you can do that, you are going to give them an inch and they're going to take a mile. And I've seen this not just in my life, but also with the people around me and situations in their lives. And when they tell me, oh, this happened or this situation, etc. And so all of that to say, you need to stop rewarding certain behavior in your life with it's okay, or this is an excuse, or you're not going to take it as seriously as you should, because maybe you want to keep the peace. Maybe you don't want to be the problematic or the difficult friend. But I have realized, again, as I've gotten older, the more that we tolerate that, the more that we let it slide, the more that people are just going to take advantage. So you have to decide what is acceptable in your life. And then once you make that decision, you're like, this is it. This is the standard I want to hold. Do not let anybody compromise that. And you can even do that with yourself. It doesn't even have to be with other people or other situations, but you need to genuinely like stick to your standards and do not let that slide. Do not come up with excuses. If you said you were going to go to the gym tomorrow at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, you need to set your alarm 30 minutes before that. Shower, get dressed, or whatever it may be, and get ready for that thing. Set that standard and actually keep it, because the more that you just give permission slips and excuses to yourself and people around you, you're never going to be happy. Tip number 2 is raise your standards in friendships, work, and your daily habits. So I know we just talked about this a little bit in the end of the last tip, but now I'm really wanting to like pour into this and really dive in, because your standards, or the standard that you set for whatever it is in your life, it should not just be in one category. You should try to be like this in every area of your life. You need to apply this to everything as a whole, because if you are just working on it in one area, in another place, then you might let that slip, or in another area, you might let that go. But when you apply this standard to your entire life, that is when everything really starts to change altogether. And a couple of weeks ago, I sat down at my desk and I opened up a brand new journal, and I was just at the point where I was sick of, not of myself, but I was kind of sick of how my life was kind of in this stagnant place. And it was because I was confused with myself. I was like, where do I want my content to go? What do I want my business, my media company, which is Valdez Agency, where do I want that to go? What is the kind of content I want people to know me for? How can I start trying to make more money in this area? How can I monetize this? Whatever. Like, I was so all over the place, and I just needed to sit down and just reset. And sometimes all it takes is a brain dump to just lay out your entire life. And I did a entire newsletter about this as well, on how to get strict with your life. And I also ended up making a YouTube video about this, and I think there's also a podcast episode. Like, I love talking about this because it is truly something that can help you come back to yourself. I got strict with myself, and I sat down in that moment and I was like, I am tired of giving myself this life in my head and then not acting like that in real life. Or I will do it for a week or two and then I eventually fall off, and then I redo it again and then I fall off. And I just want to be someone that is just straight consistent. It does not mean that my life every single day is going to be perfect, but it just means that every single day I am working towards, again, like actively raising my standards in every area of my life. Because having a high standard in just one section of your life, again, like I said before, can just cause it to fall in other areas. Like, you need to be giving it attention equally as a whole. So when you say you want your friendships to be reflective of this, you want your life to be reflective of that, you want your health and wellness to be reflective of this, you want your relationship to be like that, everything kind of coincides and it all works together. So for yourself and for other people around you, stop just accepting good enough, or stop thinking just this is okay because it's okay. And whatever excuse it is that you put on it to kind of just wrap a bow on it and you're like, that's fine. Like, You need to start putting yourself first in so many different areas of your life. That is how I truly feel like you are going to see and feel a difference when you start putting yourself first finally. And even if you think that you're doing it, do it a little bit more. Try to make it even better, because maybe you think that you're doing it well enough, but you're still letting certain excuses and certain things pass by. And so stop shrinking yourself. Stop thinking that it's okay to be humble. It's okay to be this. Like, you have one life. You need to truly live it and do the best it is that you can every single day. Show up as your best self. How do you want your life to look like in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you want everything in your life to look like in the next 5-10 years? Think about that vision and start acting like that person today. Even if that means letting go of certain relationships, letting go of certain friendships. Like, if that thing was only serving the old version of you and now you're in this new era, then it is time to just move on and do something new. And again, even if it's building small non-negotiables in your life, like, I want to speak to myself better, I want to be around these kinds of people, etc. Like, really rethink everything and how things are flowing and how things are going, because it should not just be applied into one section. Raise your standards in all of these different areas, and I promise you things are truly going to flourish. Tip number 3 is high maintenance is actually a compliment. So this is something that I know a lot of people on social media especially love to kind of put a bad rep on it, on like, this person is so high maintenance, this person requires this, they require that. But to me, I feel like it is genuinely a compliment, because I don't know why, but along the way, high maintenance became this insult. But in reality, you just know what you want, you know how you want it, and you're not afraid to ask for it. Like, so many people in my life, like growing up, I always thought they're high maintenance, they're difficult, they're this, that. But now, as I've gotten older, I'm like, wait, like, I also want to be like that. Like, I want to move throughout my life in that same way, because it does not mean that you're annoying or difficult. Like, that's the way that a lot of us shape being high maintenance around. But you just have your preferences. So stop apologizing for how you want your life to be, how you want your time to be spent, how you want your money to be spent, or how you want your relationships to be. Like, whatever it may be, we need to reframe this, oh, I'm being difficult, as you are just clear. You are straight up, and you are not going to take the BS, because you know your needs. You know what you want. You know how you want your life to be. And for me, I know what I want my life to look like. I know what my dreams and my goals and my vision is, and I know what I want my life to look like. I don't want to live an average life. I want to have a big, fun, successful life, because I'm an ambitious girl, and I want to change my friends' lives. I want to change my family's lives. I want to change those that I love around me, and I also want to change my own life. And it's like, I cannot do that if I am doing average basic things every day. Whatever your definition of that is, I have my own definition for that. And I'm like, success to me means I want to be able to help certain people. I want to be able to achieve my life goals, my personal goals, business goals, whatever it may be. There are things it is that I want to do, but I'm very crystal clear on that, and I'm very specific on what those things are. And so a lot of that requires knowing what you want. And that is why I'm saying people can reframe this as, you're high maintenance, you're difficult. That is a compliment. At the end of the day, I don't care. Like, you need to be the person. Don't be shameful. Like, ask for the raise at work. Ask for what it is that you want. If your coffee is messed up at the coffee shop, go back and be like, hey, I'm sorry, but like, this isn't what I ordered. It is terrifying for me to do that, because I am such a people pleaser. I'm the oldest daughter. I'm always just like, everyone else around me needs to be okay. And if I'm not okay, that is fine. But that is something I'm trying to unlearn, and that I've been unlearning over the past couple of years. Like, for example, I am someone that has a really bad habit of putting myself down when I get a compliment. Like, I went to an event this week in New York with Snapdragon, and it was this like happy hour NYC rooftop. I was super excited, and as I was leaving, this girl had asked me, she looked at my watch, which I have on right now and that I put on every day, and it is this watch from Fossil, and the leather strap is like all messed up, and it's kind of getting really ugly. And she was like, oh my god, I love your watch, like, where is it from? And I was like, oh, it's from Fossil. But I was like, it's so like messed up and ugly, and like I was showing her all around it, and I was like, it's not even that cute. And in my head, I'm like, why couldn't I just accept the compliment? She liked my watch. She wanted to know where it was from, when I could have just said, hey, like, I love this watch. Yeah, it's from Macy's. It's really great quality. You should definitely get one. Like, I love leather watches. And that could have been the conversation. And of course, I still did say those things, but immediately I'm like, why am I accepting a compliment by turning it back into, how can I shrink myself? How can I kind of make myself be down a little bit? And it's like, why do I do that? So that is something that I am just going to be really transparent about, that like, I am trying to actively work towards. I don't want to shrink myself first in situations or with anything in life. I want to just be like, thank you. Now let's talk about this thing in a nice way and not put myself down. Last but not least, tip number 4 is one upgraded standard creates a ripple effect on your entire life. We also talked about this in tip number 2 on why you need to just have your standards be across your entire life, but it is completely true that doing one thing creates this ripple effect across everything else. If you decide, I want to do better, I want to be better, I want certain things in my life to be better, you are not just going to do that in one area. It is going to affect all the other areas of your life. And I know that I said you should try to do everything all at once. I still do agree with that because it's going to make it easier for you to just mold into that mindset, into that lifestyle immediately. You're also going to notice that when you raise the standard in one area, it's just automatically going to happen in all of the other ones as well. Let's just say that your health and wellness journey, you want to start taking it more seriously. You want to have less processed food. You want to start going on 10K step walks. You just really want to focus on the health and wellness aspect of your life. You are going to notice that area of your life cannot thrive without the other areas of your life thriving as well. Like if you want to wake up early to get your workouts in because that's important to you, now the night before you have to start getting yourself ready for the next day. Take your outfit out, get your bag ready, have your keys by the door, have the banana and the creatine ready. Like it is literally going to start creating this ripple effect, like I said, into all of the other areas of your life. When I decided that I wanted to read more and I wanted to scroll less, I started putting my phone down more. I started not going on social media first thing in the morning, and I was like, how can I just like get my brain to learn something new? Let me put an audiobook on, let me open a book up, let me do something that is not around my phone. And because of that, now I don't like to go on social media first thing in the morning. Now I'm not putting all of this news and random things in my brain right away. I am focusing on me and having time for me and learning something new or reading a book that has been on my shelf for a while. Like whatever it may be, it will eventually just create this ripple effect across your entire life. So if you want to start small with this, I would say pick one area of your life right now, and you can literally start this week. What is one area that you've been neglecting or that you have been tolerating less than you deserve, and figure out how can you make a change here. Like I know I just gave you the health and wellness example and also the reading one, but what if there's another area of your life that you want to focus on? Like maybe in the morning you want to have 30 minutes to yourself instead of just immediately putting on your work clothes, doing your skincare and getting ready to head out the door. When I used to wake up first thing in the morning and I would immediately just get out of bed, go to the bathroom, change, have breakfast, then go right to my computer, my routine was kind of all over the place and I did not enjoy that. Like I am someone that needs to have time before sitting at my desk to just do things for me. Even if that means I have to wake up at 5 a.m. to get a workout in. Even if that means that I have to wake up even an hour before my work just to have me time, I'm going to make that sacrifice and do it. And by raising that one bar, it caused me to grow in all of the other areas of my life. So trust that you are doing this for you. You are doing it for your better self. You are doing it for the betterment of you. You are not just doing it because, again, you're trying to have an aesthetic TikTok vlog or because you want to have this specific aesthetic going on. Like, do things for you. Don't do things because you want to show it off to other people or because you're copying other people's goals and what they're doing. You need to put yourself back into the front and center of your life. Get back in the driver's seat and remember and realize this is your life. You only have one. You need to just live it the best that you can because this is all you have. Like this is your shot to just go in and go after everything you desire and dream of. And genuinely it starts by upgrading your daily standards with everything that you do, whether it's asking for the raise at work, whether it is dressing up a little bit more than how you normally do, even if you're going to work from home, whether it is going on a walk in the morning or going to your favorite coffee shop, whatever it is, romanticize the little things a little bit more and life is going to be a lot more fun. Life is going to be even better because again, what you tolerate is what you get. If you raise your standards, your entire life is going to feel that effect and you are going to be able to see just how far you can get in 3 to 6 months and then watch in a year. It's literally going to be unrecognizable. Thanks for tuning in to Booked, Busy, and Building, where we keep it real, stay growing, and are always showing up for ourselves. Remember that you're not behind, you're in the middle of becoming, so keep building what matters, and the life you want is already yours. And until next time, stay booked, stay busy, and keep building.